Hey everyone, Amy here. Welcome back to the channel. Now, today we are diving into a topic that I probably get asked about 10 times a day on Instagram, and that is how do you realistically make £10,000 or $10,000 per month as a high ticket closer. So in this video, I'm going to break down, first of all, what kind of businesses you need to be working with, but more importantly, what exactly do the numbers look like for you to consistently hit that 10K mark? So if you're serious about sales, if you're serious about earning significant income, and if you're serious about understanding the true mechanics of high ticket closing, then this is the video for you. Let's dive straight in. Now, before we even touch on numbers, there's a really crucial concept that you have to understand about sales commission, especially in high ticket closing. And that is you only get paid commission on cash collected, not just overall revenue generated. So what do I actually mean by that? Let's say that you close a 5K deal. Great job, by the way. But if that client pays 1K up front, and then the remaining 4 on a payment plan over the next 4 months, you're not getting your full commission on the entire 5K immediately. You're getting it on the 1K that was collected, and then as the rest of the payments come in, you get paid those over the coming months too. This is absolutely vital to bear in mind when you're calculating your potential income. You might close a phenomenal amount of deals, but if most of them are on super extended payment plans, then your immediate paycheck is going to be different than if everything was just paid up front. So while this might mean that you don't get all of your commission instantly, there's still a pretty huge upsides because payment plans can effectively create a bit of a consistent base salary for you, especially after a few months in an offer. Now, imagine in your first month, you close 5 deals and 4 of them have been on a 3-month payment plan. In month 1, you get your commission from the upfront payments for all 5 deals. But then when month 2 rolls around, you're not starting from 0. You'll still be getting your commission from the second payment of those 4 deals, plus whatever new deals you close throughout that new month as well. And then the same again for month 3 and so on, depending on the length of the payment plans. So this means that after you've been consistently closing on an offer for a few months, you'll actually have a growing pipeline of recurring commission payments coming in from past sales. And this can just significantly smooth out your income, making it way more predictable and way less stressful. It's a bit like building up a bit of a financial buffer or a residual income stream from previous efforts. So even if you have a slightly slower month, 1 month, then you can relax knowing that you're still getting paid from the payment plans that are collecting. And this is a huge benefit, and it's usually why some closers actually prefer offers with really well-structured payment plans, especially once they've been with the offer for a while and built up that base. So this leads us back again to the key metric, which is average cash collected. Now, when you're evaluating an offer that you might be working with, you need to ask, what is the average upfront payment, or what percentage of deals are paid in full versus on a payment plan? Now, a lower cash collected average means you'll need to close more deals to hit your immediate income goals, but over time, those collecting payment plans become a bit of a compounding asset. So you always want to make sure that you factor this into your calculations. All right, so let's actually get down into the weeds with it. So how do you actually hit 10K per month? This isn't some theory bullshit. It's just about breaking down the numbers. Now, we need 4 key variables. There is the offer price or the product price, your commission rate, your close rate, and then the average cash collected per deal. Now, I'm going to break down some actual realistic scenarios to help it make sense for you. So scenario 1 is the offer price is 3K. The commission rate is, let's say it's a healthy 10%, and then your commission per sale would then be 300. So for you to make 10K, you would need to close 33.33 sales, which is 10,000 divided by 300. But let's just round it up to 34 sales to make it easier. Now, when you factor in your close rate and the cash collected, if your close rate is, say, 20%, which means that you will close 1 in every 5 sales calls, and you need 34 sales to hit 10K. To work it out, what we would do would be 34 divided by 0.2, which means that you would need 170 qualified sales calls per month, and that is a lot. So if your average cash collected on a 3K deal is only 1.5K as well, meaning that most people pay half up front and half later, your actual commission on initial payment collected is only 150 per deal. So then you'd need to reframe it and do 10K divided by 150, which is actually 67 deals. And that is how many sales you would need to do to collect 10K on your first month. So as you can see, at a 3K price point, hitting 10K is definitely possible, but it requires a lot more work and a lot more sales. So let's look at scenario 2. So for scenario 2, let's say it's a 5K price point. So that means, again, if your commission rate is 10%, then your commission per sale is 500. So to make 10K, again, we would do 10K divided by 500, which is 20 sales per month. If you had a 20% close rate and you need 20 sales, we would do 20 divided by 0.2, which means 100 qualified sales calls per month, which is much more manageable than 170. And if your average cash collected on a 5K deal is, say, 3K, and your initial commission is 300, you would then need to do 10K divided by 300, which is 34 deals where you collect the initial payment, which is still a good number, but definitely a lot less than the lower price point. Okay, and then scenario 3, which is a 10K offer price point. So again, let's say your commission is 10% per sale, which means you'll earn 1K per sale. To earn 10K, you would again do 10K divided by 1K, which is 10 sales per month. Let's say again, you have a 20% close rate and you need 10 sales. We would then do 10 divided by 0.2, which means you would need 50 qualified sales calls per month. And if your average cash collected on a 10K deal is, say, 7K or more, then your initial commission is then going to be 700. So again, we would do 10K divided by 700, which means 15 deals per month for that initial cash collection. So my advice would be aim for offers that are at least 5K, ideally 8 to 15. And then this reduces the sheer volume of sales that you need to make and just makes 10K a month much more realistic and much less stressful. So one key thing that you need to bear in mind as well is that you can also increase your close rate, which again means that you don't need to take as many sales calls. Now, I know that was a lot to digest, so I hope you understand those numbers. Now, before we go into where you can find those type of offers, I'd like to just pause quickly just to let you know that right now I'm offering a 7-day free trial to my private school community. So if you are looking to make 10K per month in remote sales and you would like direct support from myself, then you've got to get yourself in there. I cover everything from mindset to elite level sales skills to finding and vetting businesses that you actually want to work with. Now, I won't be running this free trial for much longer. I can't guarantee that. So make sure you take advantage of it while it's still around. The link is in the description for you to check it out. So now that you know what the numbers look like, where do you actually find these offers? What kind of businesses are operating at these price points and actually have the infrastructure for you to thrive? So what I recommend is always looking for companies in these sectors. First of all, high-end coaching and consulting. Think business coaches, marketing consultants, fitness coaches, even wealth advisors. These guys usually have programs ranging from 5K, honestly, all the way up to like 50K sometimes. Next is digital agencies with premium services. I'm actually closing for a premium agency right now, and these can be agencies offering like high ticket services like paid ad management for large budgets, full service brand development, things like that. And then lastly is online education and masterminds. Now, this is probably my personal favorite. These programs offer in-depth training, mentorship, and community for professionals or entrepreneurs who are typically looking to scale. And from my experience, these can easily be 5K all the way up to 30K. So what do these businesses have in common? They sell solutions that provide significant value, often with a high return on investment for their clients, which ultimately allows them to justify the premium pricing. Now, one of the main things I teach my students is to be able to ensure that the earning potential is there before you even step foot into a role. This is probably the most crucial part after understanding the numbers. You've found the businesses that you want to work with, but how do you know if their offer can actually get you to 10K a month? Because you definitely don't just want to take their word for it. You need to do your due diligence. Here are some really crucial questions to ask and red flags to watch out for. Now, if they have multiple products, you need to ask what is the average price point of deals closed. Don't just ask about the highest package, you need the average. Next is what is the average cash collected? This is huge for you to actually work out what your initial income could look like. If they say most people pay over 12 months, months, then that is definitely a red flag for your immediate cash flow. However, you also want to make sure to inquire about the duration and the structure of their payment plans. Understanding this will really help you gauge how quickly you can build that recurring commission base from the previous sales like we mentioned earlier. Next is, what is the typical close rate for the average closers? Now, if you can get evidence of this as well, like seeing a call tracking sheet, then even better. But this is going to give you a benchmark. If it's less than 20% for a high ticket offer, something might be wrong with the offer or the lead quality. Next is, how many calls will I receive per day or per week? And how do you qualify them? This is arguably the most important question. You can be the best closer in the world, but if you don't have enough qualified people to talk to, you're not going to make money. A red flag is if they say something like, you're going to be generating your own leads. Unless that's what you want to do, then that is not a closing role, it is an appointment setting role. Next is, what is the average show up rate for booked calls? Now, a high show up rate, usually like 70% plus, shows that they have got good lead quality and a well-qualified prospect. Next is, what is the sales cycle like? Is it a one-call close, or does it require multiple follow-ups? Longer sales cycles can really impact your cash collected. And then next is training and support. What do they provide for you? Are they going to onboard you properly and help you succeed? And what does that look like for them? And then you can also ask if you could speak to another closer on the team. Honestly, this is gold. You could ask the closer about the lead flow, the culture, the average earnings, and any challenges, and specifically ask them how the payment plans affect their monthly take home after a few months in the role. Do they see that the base salary effect has taken place? If they say no, then that is a massive red flag. But mostly you need to look at their marketing and their testimonials. Do they have strong social proof? Are they attracting high quality clients? This really reflects on the quality of the leads that you're going to receive. Now, if a company is hesitant to provide transparent answers to any of those questions, or if their numbers just don't add up, you need to be able to walk away. Your earning potential is directly tied to the infrastructure and the offer quality provided by the company that you work with. So there you have it. Making 10K a month as a high ticket closer is absolutely achievable. Now, I know it's not super sexy, but it definitely requires some strategic thinking and really understanding the mechanics of commission, including the long-term benefits of payment plans and what that looks like. But always make sure that you're doing your due diligence when you're choosing your offer. Remember, cash collected is king, but payment plans can build a really powerful income base over time. Higher price points make your target much easier, but quality leads are a non-negotiable. Always ask the right questions before committing to any role. And again, the link to join Close Like a Girl is in the description, so make sure you check that out. But if you found this video helpful, then please hit the like button and subscribe for more. I post 2 new videos every single week. And let me know in the comments, what other sales topics you'd like me to cover. But I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.